Hola, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de AjaxInGame. Hoy volvemos a The Stanley Parable, la parábola de Stanley. Y bueno, pues ya llevamos como 4 finales. El primero el normal, el segundo nos encerramos, el tercero el de la aventura, ¿no? Y el cuarto el del sueño extraño, locura, suicidio, Mariela, no sé, cosas raras. Así que vamos a seguir descubriendo finales. A ver qué nos depara el episodio de hoy. Lo bueno de este juego es que nunca sabes lo que te vas a encontrar. Es lo que tiene. Y nada, intentaremos pues eso, hacer todos los caminos posibles, ¿no? Así que lo que hoy haré es lo mismo, empezar por la puerta derecha, tal y cual. Y en vez de girar a la izquierda, sigo recto. Directamente. Por ejemplo. Vale, todo esto. Uy, espera, un momento. Es que siempre se me quita. No, espérate. Audio. Subtítulos. Ok. Vale. Pues vamos a hacer lo mismo de siempre. O sea, ahora por la derecha. A ver que me sitúe un poco. Vale, la puerta de la derecha. Perfecto. Ok. De acuerdo. Pasamos por aquí. Vale. ¿Veis? Y ahora siempre hemos ido por aquí, aunque tendría que volver aquí y subir arriba, porque os acordáis que el último final que hicimos fue seguir recto y luego bajar en vez de subir al despacho. Pero es que quiero ir por ahí también. Bueno, pues hacemos esto antes. Va. Aunque también podría ir por ahí. Joder, qué lío, macho. Vale. Vamos a hacer esto antes. Es lo que tengo en mente. Ok.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Vale. Así que vamos a ir arriba.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Vale. ¿Y esto qué es? No. No. La pregunta es, ¿cambiará algo?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
2, 4,
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Vale. O sea, pero es todo igual entonces que al principio. Hombre, pues no sé. No tendría mucho sentido, ¿no? Algo tendrá que cambiar, no sé. No sé, ya veré. Si veo que es el mismo, pues corto y ya está.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Pues sí, tiene pinta de ser igual. Oh, aunque podemos hacer... Vale, si es igual, no pasa nada. Vale. No pasa nada. Vamos a hacer otro final igualmente. Ok, vale. Hacemos esto. ¿Ves? Y por ahí por donde el pasadito ese. por el que subíamos en el anterior episodio, pues ese es. Lo que pasa es que bueno, lo bueno es que también tiene este juego es que tiene finales ahí a cascoporro. A ver. Oh. Que sí, que esto ya me lo has contado. Pasa que no te acuerdas. Ascensor.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Que sí. Bueno, pues entonces lo que haremos es este final que vamos a hacer ahora y el siguiente, el que os he dicho seguir para adelante, ¿no?
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
No me lo creo.
Never.
Nunca.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating,
vale.
all of it monitored and commanded.
¿Veis todos los botones estos, no? Pues es para este final.
As the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power.
¿Veis? ¿Os acordáis de esto?
Human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Y era off, ¿no? Y on. Pues apretamos el off, ¿no? Para el final bueno, entre comillas. Pues a probar el on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Oops.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Sí.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators...
Detonadores nucleares.
Eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your
Vale, tenemos 2
now.
minutos.
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Incorrecto.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? Vale. Solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Uno. Joder, me cago en la
I
leche.
turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when
Podríamos haber salido, ¿no?
I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
¿Qué cojones?
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground,
10.
swallowing everyone inside.
Vale, el 1.
I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite
Incorrecto.
rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
¿Qué cojones?
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
Gracias.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Vale.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
What?
Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
A ver.
To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you...
Goodbye, employee.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to strike.
Vale, pues la apago, la apago.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
¿Y si le doy a final? Es que no me acuerdo.
Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke.
Nope.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment
Adiós.
I say happily ever up.
Vale, pues este es el final que recuerdo. O sea... que explotaba, básicamente. No sé si hay alguna forma, lo buscaré, de resolver el puzzle o no. Pero es eso. O sea, él te lo dice, que... Míralo ahí dándole a los botones, tal, como si hubiese alguna salida o algo. O sea, que es una especie de trampa psicológica.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Vale. Pues ahora vamos a hacer eso. Lo de ir a la derecha y luego a... todo recto.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Vale.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted
Pues
to
ahora
stop
iremos
by
rectos y
and put it on
veremos
first,
el
just
final
right.
que nos depara ese camino.
Wow. Yes. This room.
Sí, preciosa, preciosa.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Que lo hayan despedido de años. A ver. No, necesito una tarjeta, parece ser. A ver.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Sí.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Podríamos saltar.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Por ella. Ojo, ¿Quién es ella?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Que ella regrese a tu vida.
She's been waiting.
Ella estaba esperando. Hostia, qué miedo.
That's her, Stanley.
Es ella,
You
Stanley.
need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
¿Cogemos el teléfono? Podemos cogerlo o podemos desenchufarlo, ojo, Es que hay tantas cosas. Vamos a cogerlo. ¿Qué ha pasado?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
¿Qué?
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
Qué cabrón.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Buenos días, empleado 427. Presione O en su teclado.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Presione Y.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Qué buenísimo.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Presione 8. Vale.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Por favor, presione M para mirar televisión.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
M para pasar tiempo con los muchachos.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Presione 5 para preparar la cena.
As he wandered through this
Dios.
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
8 para contar a los niños una historia.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Para decirle a su esposa que la ama. Joder, macho.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
X para dormir.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
No lo hagas. Presione M para estar en el trabajo por la mañana.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
C para cuestionar vida.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Tal vez esta vez.
And I tried again.
Por favor,
And
muera.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I
Hostia. Vaya tela, ¿eh? O sea, es que... Joder. Vaya tela con el juego, macho. Pues entonces... Es que se te abren tantos finales. Vamos a ir ahora a hacer lo mismo, lo del teléfono, pero ahora en vez de contestar, vamos a desenchufarlo. A ver qué tal. Es que es eso, es que te sale un final y te aparecen dos más y es interminable.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Que sí, que
just
sí.
to admire it. The lounge was sublime,
Vale.
a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ok.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vale.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing
Y también podemos ir por ahí,
in someone else can be difficult, but the fact
saltando.
is that the story has been about nothing but you.
O sea, cuando pase por debajo, nos tiramos y vamos
There's
por ahí.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Pero será la
Someone you've
siguiente.
forgotten about. Please,
A ver, a
stop
ver.
trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her.
This is it, Stanley. Your
Cabrón, es
chance
que
to
es...
redeem yourself, to put your
Es
work
jodido,
aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Chin. Y ahora lo quitamos.
That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Qué bueno, es que me encanta, me encanta.
It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in.
Qué cabrón, ¿eh? ¿Cómo lo cambia ahora?
Credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
¡Ey! Me ha pillado.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to
Anda.
think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I
No.
won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
Qué
But
bueno.
if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember
Qué
that
bueno.
unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood,
Es una
that person
crítica
is
a los vídeos
Allow the
estos
person to finish their
reeducativos
thought, then
de
provide an excuse why you cannot
americanos,
continue
estadounidenses,
talking.
de los
Turn to a
40 y
partner
los
and practice
50.
saying, my goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Práctica.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And
O sea,
finally,
que ahora
if you
está,
begin
los
to wonder
subtítulos
if
están en
your choices are
inglés.
actually
Parece ser que esta parte no
meaningful,
la
whether you'll
no la han
ever make
traducido.
a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness
A lo
of
mejor no han
space,
llegado aquí, ¿sabes?
your
Los-
thoughts and
los traductores.
problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Vale.
Ah,
Hostia.
welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
No. No. Ah, no. Vale, por aquí. Entonces, ¿ahora qué pasa? O sea, Parece que como si hubiese roto, ¿no? El universo. ¿Veis estas vallas? No me dejan saltar.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Vale. No. Vale, entonces ahora como que me está redirigiendo, ¿no? Al juego porque ha visto que soy una persona de verdad, ¿no? Y entonces no quiere que se joda el universo, básicamente. A ver. ¿Por dónde me lleva ahora?
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left.
La puerta de la izquierda.
The correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Vale.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Entonces, ¿qué ahora? ¿Le hago caso ahora o no? Dios. Venga, va, le voy a hacer caso a ver si cambia algo, yo que sé. Que como no cambie me jode, la verdad, bastante. Vale.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Vale.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No me deja bajar, ¿eh? Entonces sí que ha cambiado. Ha cambiado algo fijo. ¿Veis? No pone lo del cuarto de baño. Oh, mirad eso, ¿eh? Sí que ha cambiado, mira esto.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out.
Sí, pues este final no lo he jugado, ¿eh? O sea que no sé lo que vamos a encontrar, ¿no?
Within himself, the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 1556. Har. No. No me deja.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
No funciona.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story.
Vale, estoy en ello.
Crucial step.
Vale. Night Shark 155. 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
¿Que no me deja, en serio?
I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect.
¿No puedo hacer nada?
The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Hostia, chaval.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Un momento.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
A ver, hemos llegado al final ese del despacho verde. Y se acaba y ha dicho, ¿por qué no has ido a la puerta de la derecha y tal? O sea, que él se espera que vaya a la puerta de la derecha. Hostia, vamos otra vez a la izquierda. A ver, vamos a hacer una cosa. Voy a ir por la izquierda, ¿vale? Y si veo que es lo mismo, vuelvo a este punto, ¿vale? Y voy por la derecha, básicamente. A ver... Como sea lo mismo, va a ser un coñazo, pero bueno. Lo cortaré, supongo.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
¿Qué?
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
Hostias, se ha cortado.
and always putting the story
No me deja
first.
seguir por la
I'm quite sure
izquierda.
you'll be up to the task.
Qué
Just
fuerte,
follow
¿no?
my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Y no podemos ir por aquí? No. Es que ahora voy por la izquierda y ni siquiera me deja entrar al despacho verde. Qué fuerte. O sea, se corta cuando paso por
Yet
de
there was
aquí.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
¿Ya
of
ves?
disbelief,
¡Pup! Se corta. Oh, entonces...
behave exactly as Stanley would.
Qué fuerte, tío.
That
No me
means
deja ni
choosing
elegir aquí,
responsibly
¿sabes?
and always putting the
Qué
story
cabrón, es
first.
poderoso.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
A
All
ver.
right.
Vale, pues vamos por la derecha, yo qué sé.
To a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Pero entonces, él ya sabe que vamos a ir por la derecha. O sea, no nos deja ir por la izquierda. O sea, él nos dice, haz lo mismo que haría Stanley. Lo hacemos, se cabrea tal y cual. Entonces, no sé, es extraño.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Si ya lo sabías. Desgraciado. Bueno, vale. No. Por aquí, por aquí. Y mira esos números. ¿Qué cojones? Pues si no puedo pasar por aquí, ¿qué hago ahora? Ahora paso por aquí y se cambia otra vez. Oh.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To
No.
willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down.
No.
I have to.
No. No lo apagues. Hostia. Dios. Hola.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was
Lo
the only
siento.
thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of
Pero si
you.
lo he intentado, si he intentado hacerlo de Stanley, pero no me has dejado, cabronazo.
Oh, my story. If
Pobrecillo.
you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It
¿Cómo?
would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it.
Ah,
I tried
vale.
so hard.
Sí, claro, lo de las camas y todo eso. Hostia.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the
Mira.
door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Qué fuerte.
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Bien.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
Gracias por jugar a la parábola de Stanley.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
Oh.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
Hostia, entonces, ese es el final de verdad, ¿no?
Anything. This is more important.
O sea, hemos roto el juego.
I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You're listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
Qué bueno.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Que al final hasta te da pena y todo.
It's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Entonces, somos, o sea, el punto de vista que teníamos, ¿podría? Bueno, lo voy a dejar por aquí, pero es que esto no acaba, es que no acaba, es una locura. Es una locura, no sé, de verdad, cada episodio se me está yendo más la olla, de verdad. Y mirad el pasillo que nos queda, que ha cambiado también esto. O sea, que esto sigue, o sea, ahora cortaré y haré otro vídeo, pero es que se nos va el tiempo. Bueno, pues espero que os haya gustado el episodio de hoy. Ha sido una jodida locura mental, como los demás. Y nada, si os ha gustado podéis darle a like, comentar y seguirme tanto en Twitter como en Facebook. Y nada más, hasta el siguiente vídeo. Adiós.